let's dive in to some Algorand news and hype. What you got?
Let's talk about the branding. I think the funniest one we got to talk about is the branding now that CoinDesk is going to be is a partner with Algorand at the summit, because CoinDesk, if you're in the Algorand community, you're very familiar with this one. And CoinDesk has literally put out so many articles over the past 2 years naming things that are being done in the crypto and blockchain space on Algorand, but purposefully, I would say, or maybe because they didn't get paid,
Yep.
leaving the hashtag Algorand, or the name that it's actually working on, hashtag, out of the post, even though it may be in the article. And I will say CoinDesk is under new management, so maybe this is
Yep.
part of the marketing strategy to work with this newer, CEO or owner of it, and to actually have a focus there and a impact there. And I think this is a good step. Obviously, I hope that this is not just a one-off thing. I know that a couple days ago, Algorand was advertising on CoinDesk, the TPS and a bunch of other stuff, which was kind of funny in light of some of the Solana
Mhm.
articles. But you have to. This is, even though a lot of people may have maybe blocked CoinDesk, right? If you're in the Algorand faithful, you don't like them, you don't like their reporting, they still
Yep.
have a broad reach. And so I'm hoping that this movement forward does really good as far as getting the information of what Algorand's doing out there to the masses. Because we've already, I made a post a couple weeks ago showing that like Coinbase hasn't updated stuff in like months. Like it's been like
No.
8-10 months since they put out any article on Algorand. And so to some extent, that is what's criminally lacking for Algorand's movement to the top. Is there's just not really a lot of marketing hype when things get done. Like Solana, Fire Dancer, I know John Allen Woods joked about it. Firemancer, he could, we can joke about those things, but hey, people know about it. People know what it's called. They
Yep.
know Solana's got an upgrade. Cardano's, they know it has its upgrade, but do people really know what's happening on Algorand? And so that is the thing that needs to change. And as funny as it is that it's CoinDesk, I really hope that we see a continued effort for them putting out positive articles that reflect Algorand.
Hey, I get it. Coinbase is like, hey, where is my money? Run me my bag.
Yeah, and obviously their bags in ETH, they're literally building on ETH with Base,
Yeah.
so they're
I'll
not.
say, I'll say, Algorand, send them some Go ETH, right?
I don't know. I doubt there's that much Go ETH on Algorand enough to entice them, but definitely think that I'm waiting for the day that we get USDC algo up, on Coinbase and stuff like that. They've got so
Mhm.
many networks. Obviously, Algorand not one of them, but I think that would be a positive move. It's funny, even Brian Armstrong tweeting out today the sale of his merch, the beanies or whatever it is. I don't know if it's an NFT or a
Oh,
real
I
hat,
seen it.
but
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
talking about until we get sub 1 penny 1 second finality and
Yeah.
transactions, we're working towards that. And it's like, you have that on Algorand, like,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's,
like,
there's
yeah.
no way you're that blind. You're literally just, maybe you don't want to work with this team. And that's, honestly, I feel like when people make the comment the tech doesn't always win, right? I
Yeah.
think that's more or less what they're talking about. Is like, if the big money, which we know is Coinbase, we know is BlackRock, we know is all of these institutions, if they don't want to work with Algorand and with the tech, that's why Algorand could lose. Is unless
Yes.
the decentralized, right? The community were to grow so big that they can't be ignored. But it's like, who are these big players really going to work with? And it ultimately comes down to that. I still think Ethereum is useless at times. I mean, literally, I saw some guy, to get $30 in USDC, or no, to get $20 in USDC, he was going to have to pay 30. It's like, that's like, what, like why are we still propping up old legacy
That don't
tech
make
when
no
there's
sense.
better stuff even outside of Algorand, right? You got Caspa, you got so many new layer ones that are popping up that can do more and better than Ethereum. So I don't know, it's
I would
interesting.
say, it's got to be some type of, let me put my tinfoil on. It's got to be some type of conspiracy, or like maybe they just want to own it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
maybe
maybe.
they need to take more control, because ETH is essentially controlled by these people. So like if we see like, Coinbase node pop up, right? Y'all go check if y'all see anything like that. But any Coinbase nodes, if we see any of these type of things, I would say that could be a sign that they're coming for Algorand, which is, essentially what we want. My
Yeah,
original thesis a few years ago when I got into Algorand was like, comparing them to ETH and all these other blockchains, I saw that the government would want this one,
yeah,
right? I saw that foreign governments, speaking of that, the Dutch central bank, I'll pull it up as well. I think that's related to this conversation. They have even chosen Algorand.
Yeah.
And then John, spoke about that on our show.
Yep.
Why? Because, regulators are looking for the best technology and not the hype. They want
Yeah.
something that works, and they found this one.
Yeah, and obviously we're actually talking to Quantoz, and we're going to have them on the channel hopefully here in the next month or so to talk about why they chose Algorand, what they're looking to build with this programmable euro on Algorand. And to answer
Mhm.
your question, I would say the reason why all these big players are using ETH over the newer and faster and cheaper L1s is because they can't how much money are they going to lose right now if they
Yep.
transition to these cheaper networks? Right now, they're taking advantage of everyone who wants to speculate in DeFi and speculate on crypto and whatever they're doing in all this stuff
Yeah.
because ETH's gas fees, all of these fees,
We
even on
moved $100 and it cost us 12%.
yeah,
So like that's a high fee for
exactly.
making a trade on Uniswap.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they're not going to leave Ethereum because why would you leave it if it's not milked all the way out yet? And so they're going to milk that cow as long as they can. But I do think eventually, right, just as Silvio said, even speculation will end. And I don't mean speculation across the board,
Mhm.
but I think true, you know, Quantos, true businesses, right, are going to have to work on blockchains that are fast, scalable,
Yes.
secure, decentralized. We're just not there yet. We're still in a very
Yeah.
highly speculative
Yeah.
world.
And I would add audience as well. Leave a comment below if Ethereum is essentially one of your biggest bags, right? Because I think that's important. As the people who are buying this, even me, I hold probably more of Ethereum than anything, and it's because of these reasons we talked about. The big dogs still want it; they have it. The validators are making so much money, which keeps pumping the price up. So the thing that I see with these layer ones, twos, threes, fours, and fives is that eventually Ethereum, maybe even like on Algorand, just will turn into wrapped Ethereum. And that's the way
Mm,
you make Ethereum smooth. You just wrap it, and then Ethereum essentially spreads throughout of all of blockchain and crypto, and then it's more usable.
yeah.
I could see that happening, and it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and,
But
it
about
kind of goes back to
what?
even Stacy's comment. I feel like at one of the
Mhm.
conferences may have been Consensus. I can't remember exactly which one, but she kind of made the point, and it might not be Algorand, might be another chain, but you can have your ETH, you can have your Bitcoin, but it's going to settle on Algorand, right? She made that
Yes.
comment, and it might settle on Cosmos, it might settle on Hedera, it might settle on
Yep.
card, something else, but you might still be able to use those assets, just not on the chains as
Yes.
much. But even then, it begs the question: why even interact with those if there is better scalable tech? But like I said, we're just so early in
Yeah.
crypto and in blockchain adoption. I think and like I say, this is bullish. Quantos Payments announcing the launch, right? And they did their own research, right? This wasn't
Yep.
something that the Algorand Foundation or Algorand Technologies went out and found. This is them. So I'm really excited to have them on our show to ask them the specific questions of why
Yep.
did you choose Algorand and what exactly could you see this euro, programmable euro, being used for? Because at the end of the day, that's like those are going to be the questions of why other businesses choose Algorand over the likes of Solana, Ethereum, you name it.